What is going on, Pokemon fans? Welcome back to Paul's Wrath. My name is JD, and today we're doing a very special video. Over the last few weeks, we've been playing through Pokemon Blue with all the bug types fully evolved to figure out who the best bug type Pokemon is in Generation 1. We've been playing through 6 Pokemon: Venomoth, Butterfree, Beedrill, Parasect, Scyther, and Pinsir. We're going to rank these Pokemon on how they did in this challenge from worst to best, and we're going to crown ourselves a champion, then upgrade our tier list at the end. So without further ado, our worst Pokemon of Pokemon Blue that we played through as a bug type is Beedrill. Beedrill came with a time on our first playthrough of 1 hour and 13 minutes and 19 seconds, 5 resets, level 67. In our second playthrough, we ended up getting savings of 6 minutes, just about 6 minutes, just a couple seconds off, 3 resets at level 65. So 2 levels lower, less resets, and a much faster time. This Pokemon really suffers just from its first move. That is what causes this Pokemon to have problems. Fury Attack is what it starts the game with, doesn't get another move really until level 20. And that's Twin Needle, and this Pokemon completely unlocks, and it's a completely different scenario and discussion about what this Pokemon can and cannot do. You gotta think of it this way. Beedrill took 20 minutes to get by Brock. After those 20 minutes, that's the rest of the time of the playthrough. From Brock on, it takes about 40 minutes or so to get by the rest of the games. Not bad. If it had any other move in the beginning, I think this Pokemon could be a lot better. But it is what it is, and the result is over a 1 hour time. Now, we did move up a tier from the first playthrough, so we do have that going for us. We did save 6 minutes. It's one of the highest jumps we did in these playthroughs. So that means there's definitely room for improvement in our first playthrough. But our last place bug Pokemon is Beedrill. As much as I love Beedrill, I think he's one of the coolest designs of Generation 1 period. He just comes in and lacks a good move to start the game, and it really cost him in this one. Moving on to who came in 5th place, and that is Venomoth. Now, Venomoth actually has the biggest jump we had in our playthroughs. First playthrough of Venomoth, we ended up 1 hour and 12 minutes and 15 seconds, 6 resets at level 66. In our second playthrough, we came at 1 hour and 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So that's almost 10 minutes, like 5 seconds off 10 minutes. No resets, level 67, so slightly higher level. I guess we figured out some things when it came to what level we had to be at to get by some ranges. We also came with a much different move. We utilized Mega Drain, we had Hyper Beam. In the initial playthrough, we didn't have that. We were utilizing Leech Life and Mimic. But I think we figured out the better strategy, and it obviously paid off. When you save 10 minutes in a run, that means the first run was either A, superiorly flawed, or B, you just found a significantly better strategy to cut out 10 minutes of a run. Very proud of Venomoth. It still doesn't mean it's a good Pokemon. It's still over an hour, still an hour and 2 minutes. It does still end up in 5th place, but gaining 10 minutes on any playthrough. So for a while, Beedrill actually had Venomoth beat, because we played through Beedrill second run before we played through Venomoth second run. But Venomoth held its own, 1 hour and 2 minutes and 20 seconds, nothing to sneeze at. It definitely an improvement. If it didn't improve, that's something you'd be like, well, I guess this Pokemon is just horrible. No, that just means we might have just played him very bad. Move on to number 4. Number 4 ended up being the one I thought would be number 1. And really, it's just wishful thinking. I've always liked Parasect. It's always been a Pokemon that has a soft spot. I think it just gets a bad rap. I think it has a lot of things that go for it. Like, for example, it has one of the more diverse movesets. And by diverse, I don't mean it gets like all these things, but it does have Body Slam. A lot of the other bug types don't get that. It does access to Dig, which I don't know why some other Pokemon don't have access to Dig. Like Pinsir would be a great example of a Pokemon that should have Dig. It's a Beetle. Beetle's Dig. It is what it is. Might be a what if scenario now that I think of it. It wouldn't be a bad what if to do. However, Parasect came in with our first playthrough, 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 26 seconds. The second playthrough, 1 hour and 29 seconds. Just about 5 minutes saved, so that's pretty decent. But here's what happened in the second playthrough. I think it's what cost us the time, and maybe if we do it again, maybe a third run, we just go back to the strategy we had, just be more efficient with it. We probably could get this done under an hour. So what we did in the first playthrough is obviously we utilized the move Swords Dance. Swords Dance ups your attack stat by 2 stages every time it's initiated, plus it does the badge boost split, so all the stats around it go up 12.5%. And this is what we were using to help us outspeed oppositions like Alakazam, like Charizard, etc. In the second playthrough, there's a community on Discord run by Scott's Thoughts, where a couple years ago, they did like community runs where like Paris or Parasect play through everyone to see who got the best time. Well, one of the strategies was, instead of using Swords Dance, is Parasect gets access to Growth. In Growth, you can do up to 6 times, because it only ups your special by 1 stage rather than 2 for attack. So if you do that 6 times, you can boost your speed 6 times rather than 3 times. Thought process there is we're badge boosting more, our stats are getting higher. The problem with that is it takes forever. We do have Spore, so we have like the best putting Pokemon to sleep move you can get in the game. But Growth just takes too long to set up, and I think that's what cost us. But if I had just played through the normal strategy, just more efficient, I think I could have got this under an hour. it might be a third playthrough, might be warranting a third playthrough. But I'm very proud of Parasect. Parasect, like I said, is a Pokemon's always had a soft spot for. It kind of gets a bad rap because it's typing, but I think its typing is pretty cool. It gets access to Dig and Body Slam, and those moves specifically are just moves that I've always had a soft spot for. Dig is one of my favorite moves in the game. One of my favorite Pokemon to use when I played through as a kid was always Dugtrio, so Dig was always a move that I like to utilize. But nonetheless, this Pokemon ended up having a decent time. I'm not going to sit here and say it was bad, but it could definitely be better. And I think one more playthrough might be warranted in the future just to see if we can get this under an hour. Move on to number 3. Number 3 ended up being a Pokemon I thought would be closer to last just because of its moveset. Scyther comes in with a time of 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 20 seconds on the first playthrough, 7 resets at level 65, and in the second playthrough we improved this Pokemon by just over 5 minutes. So 59 minutes, 11 seconds was its final time. It did have more resets, that's because of Pokemon Tower, and we came at the same level. So everything was about the same, slightly different stats here and there. However, what the problem with this Pokemon is its moveset's garbage because it has all normal moves, it has nothing that's stab. It doesn't get access to Wing Attack in this generation. There's actually a what if I did. What if Scyther had a Wing Attack and Pokemon Blue started the game with it? Completely changes the dynamic and complexion of this Pokemon because you're not relying on buy to get by Pokemon Tower. And I'm pretty sure like 9 of these resets, like 8 of these resets out of the 9 we have were against Pokemon Tower. I think 1 was against Lorelei. So that's where the 8 of the 9 resets come with this second playthrough. And it was just Pokemon Tower just being a pain in the butt. But this Pokemon overpowers that because it just has pure raw damage dealing ability. It has Slash, it has Swords Dance, Hyper Beams on this moveset we used as well. So it just has some raw ability just to brute force its way through the problems. And we got a little bit of luck when it came to Agatha. Agatha is we have to mimic Nightshade, and both times we played through, both times we got the right RNG. So I'm happy to have Scyther this high. It's such a cool Pokemon. It's just such a shame that it gets such a bad moveset. Moving on to number 2 is Butterfree. I predicted Butterfree would be number 2, so I was right about this, but I'm not going to brag about being right because I was wrong about a lot of other Pokemon. Butterfree ends up with the time of 1 hour, 4 minutes, 33 seconds on the first playthrough, 10 resets. It really is an RNG Pokemon. You have a lot of luck based in the strategy to play through this Pokemon because you have to rely on Sleep Powder so much. It doesn't have out of these world stats. It doesn't have anything that's considered stab. It has no stab moves with this Pokemon. It doesn't get Leech Life. It doesn't. I mean, there's only like 3 bug moves in the game: Leech Life, Pin Missile, and Twin Needle. It gets none of those, so the bug type has nothing. And then even as a flying type, you don't get anything. I think in Gen 2 you get Gust, and Gust is actually a flying move, so that's stab. But in Gen 1, you get nothing. You get no flying moves. There is a what if I did around when I was playing this. It's what if Butterfree was a bug psychic, and it really changes the complexion of this Pokemon. When Confusion is a stab move to start the game, and then you get Psychic, an even more powerful stab move, and then Psybeam, and this Pokemon can actually progress properly. This Pokemon really does like wreck the game. It did do better in its second playthrough. 58 minutes and 35 seconds off the season at. It's just about 6 minutes. Just right at 6 minutes is what it ended up being. Same level, it did have a lot less resets, and that was really a big part of this. If you look at the time, the play time, I just want to correct something here. The play time is just how long the game's open. Okay, sometimes I play and then I have to go get my kids, or I have to go use the restroom, or I'm eating breakfast while I'm playing. You can't, the program I use sometimes crashes if you actually try to pause it, so I just don't pause it. So that's why I never really care about the playtime. So if you see there's more playtime, nothing happened other than I was doing more while I was playing this game. So there's more pausing of the timer, doing something, come back, and just picking right up where I left off. So just keep that in mind. But without further ado, Butterfree did end up second place. So Butterfree, one of my Pokemon I used to use all the time when I was a kid. So I'm very happy for it. It could maybe get down to 55 minutes. It might be a luck-based strategy there, or a little more less conservative, a little more just boom or bust. Might be able to get that down to 55 minutes. But without further ado, we're going to crown our champ. And this Pokemon ended up being number 1. It is the only Pokemon that's in the slow level up rate, and we ended up beating the game on the first try. So even with the first try, we ended up having the best time-ish. Like Butterfree would beat it by like 10 seconds or something. But in the first time, we ended up beating the game in 58 minutes and 47 seconds. We got 1 reset at level 60. And in the second playthrough, we improved this Pokemon and moved it up another tier down to 54 minutes and 2 seconds. Could this be a little bit faster? Probably. But I don't know if I want to do a third playthrough or not. We'll see. It did have 1 more reset. I think it was just like an unlucky event against one specific trainer. I don't even remember who it was. But like I said, low level up rate, and we ended up beating the game 54 minutes and 2 seconds. So it's not a drastic change in where it ends up in the game. but it is drastic enough that it moves it up a tier and puts it in with some really good Pokemon. So now that we've explained the order, we're going to go ahead and upgrade our tier list. Now, in the original voiceover for this, I actually did a voiceover while I was moving around all the guys. It looks very disjointed, so I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I have what it is now, take a good look at it, and look where all the Pokemon are, and we're going to go ahead and transition right over to where they are after the second runs, and we can see some drastic changes here. One, Hitmonchan is by himself still in the bottom tier. We have some Pokemon moved up. We're getting a little bit more Pokemon in the D tier. We didn't have any Pokemon in the D tier for a while. We haven't added any, I should say. And we get kind of a cluster. Most of the Pokemon are clustering around between the C and D tier. And you have the outliers in Beedrill, and we have the best Pokemon in Pinsir. But they kind of hover around the middle here. So that's not too bad. It actually, I would say, is slightly better than the flying type, if we can go that route. It's hovering right there and maybe just around the same as the fire type, which is crazy because fire type seems so overpowered and just imposing than bug types, but they hover around just around the same area of the game. It's just some circumstances, I guess. So that's what I wanted to go over. I was actually showing moving all the pieces, and some of these need adjusted anyway, so I'll get to that later. But I wanted to just jump through that instead of talking the whole time. It was like 5 minutes of me moving everything, and it didn't sound very good, so I didn't want to put you guys through that. So I thought I'd just go from one to the other, so I'll do it one more time. This is what it was before we played through our second playthroughs, and this is what the end result is. So again, we got some Pokemon that are on some islands, but I'm very excited about the next typing. And from that, we're going to move on to one more thing I want to announce. I did a poll on my channel, seeing what you guys wanted. You want to see a what-if scenario where Moltres had Flamethrower, a Generation 2 Aerodactyl. So what that means is Aerodactyl learns, like for example, learns Bite at like level 12, and it gets access to Ancient Power. We're going to substitute in Rock Slide instead of using Ancient Power, and we're going to make the move set fit something closer to what it is in Generation 2, see how well it does. And the third one was, why doesn't Dragonite have Dragon Rage? It should have Dragon Rage start the game just like Gyarados, who's not even a Dragon Pokemon. So that was all three of the scenarios that I threw out there in a what-if poll on my channel, and you guys spoke. Whoever participated in this, appreciate it. I only had 20 votes, but I'll take the 20 votes over none. And we ended up getting Aerodactyl Gen 2 in Pokemon Blue was the majority, 45%. So out of 20 people, I think 9 people, I think is what it is. So we ended up getting 9 votes for Aerodactyl Generation 2 in Pokemon Blue, and that's what we're going to do this week. So this week we have 2 playthroughs. We have Aerodactyl Generation 2 is going to come out on Wednesday, and we're going to have Zapdos come out on Friday. I have not played either one of those, so I'm very excited to do them both. Aerodactyl, I'm going to get done first. Both of these playthroughs I think are going to be pretty fast, so I should be able to get them done in short order. But that's my video. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. This is JD. This is Polywar's Wrath. If you haven't already, I recommend you go check out my prediction video for the electric types, and make sure you comment down below in that video what you think the electric type ranking is going to be. I gave my ranking. What's yours? Have a good one. I'll see you guys next time.